But our top story this Monday night. The government today tabled the economic survey ahead of Thursday's union budget. The survey shows the Indian economy is on the path to recovery. Here are the key findings of the survey. The survey claims that GDP will grow by 6.75% in 2017-18. The second highlight, they claim that the growth will be between 7 to 7.5% in 2018-19. That's the next fiscal. But it warns that the current rise in oil prices is a major concern. It also says that there could be a sharp correction in stock prices. It says that there has been a 50% increase in the number of indirect taxpayers. It claims that there have been 18 lakh income taxpayers added after demonetization, and has also claimed that GST is now being smoothened out. It claims that there will be a growth in investment, private investment, but not savings. It says that of the 66 pending tax cases, only 1.8% of them have a value at stake. Climate change has had a severe impact on farmer incomes, which are expected to only grow by around 2%. States with higher exports and interstate trade are richer, says the survey. Now, all these highlights of the survey come at a time when, well, the centre is getting geared up, some say, for general elections in 2018-19. The survey itself focused on GST, jobs and agriculture. This, some say, could be an indication of what is in store, not just for the upcoming budget, but also for the general election battle, with the BJP trying to cushion the blows that the economy has suffered due to demonetization and implementation of GST.
Even selling pakoras is a job, said the PM. By that logic, even begging is a job, tweeted former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, recently drawing instant rebuttals from the Narendra Modi government.
जो कभी गरीब अपनी मेहनत से कमाता है उसकी इज्जत की है, और ये कांग्रेस वाले हैं, चिदम्बरम है, कि जिनको जो मेहनत से कमाता है उसकी वो मजाक उड़ाते हैं. तो ये उस पर व्यंग्य करना चिदम्बरम द्वारा ये गरीब का अपमान है.
Chidambaram, who famously said Modi's economic knowledge can be written on the back of a postage stamp, was trying to corner the Modi government on one of the biggest challenges the government faces. It may have backfired, but the strategy is clear. Blunt BJP's Hindutva and Rahul's temple run, and expose the Modi government's failure to fulfill promises made during the 2014 campaign.
वो भी ज़मीनी हकीकत उसके बिल्कुल अलग है, विपरीत है.
Budget 2018 is expected to cushion the blows suffered due to demonetization and implementation of the goods and services tax. It will be Modi's chance to apply the balm on people's wounds ahead of the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. The chief economic advisor, Arvind Subramanian, has predicted अच्छे दिन for India by 2019.
जो इम्पैक्ट था जीएसटी का और डिमोनेटाइजेशन का, उसका मतलब आइदर कम और नेग्लिजिबल होगा गोइंग फॉरवर्ड, एंड दैट्स व्हाई द इकोनॉमी इज आल्सो, आई थिंक, पुटिंग दोस बिहाइंड एंड कमिंग बैक टू इट्स मीडियम टर्म पोटेंशियल. आई जस्ट वांटेड टू से दैट एट 7 to 7.5% जो है, इंडिया वुड वंस अगेन बी द फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग मेजर इकोनॉमी इन द वर्ल्ड.
From income taxpayers to workers in the unorganized sector, from government employees to farmers, everyone is expecting that the budget will put more money in their pockets. The budget will also show whether the BJP will fall back on Hindutva as a vote bait or make the economy its calling card. With Rahul Srivastav in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And let's try and decode that economic survey. Joining me now is the chief of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council and member of the Niti Aayog, Professor Bibek Debroy, joins me. Appreciate your joining us, Professor Debroy. My first big question to you. The survey says growth will move up to 7 to 7.5% in 2018. 2019 will be 6.75% for the fiscal 2017-18, but also admits that economic management will be a challenge in an election year. How should one interpret the findings that the economy is on the path to steady recovery or to achhe din, or that there are still concerns that actually lie ahead, minefields, if I may use the word?
No, I'd look at it slightly differently, because the economic survey also says that in 2017-18 growth is going to be 6.75%, an estimated 6.75%, on the basis of a second half growth rate of 7.5. Now for 2018-19 it talks about upside favorable possibilities and also downside risks. Given all of that, I am inclined to think that out of that band of 7 to 7.5, particularly because the second half it talks about 7.5, I'm inclined to think that for 2018-19 we'll be at the upper end of the band, 7.5. Many of the problems that it is talking about are pertinent problems, I think, if we are looking at more than 7.5.
Interesting that you believe that we will be at the higher end, closer to 7.5. But I come back to it. One of those key concerns being flagged off in the economic survey is high oil prices. The survey says, I quote, persistently high oil prices remain a key issue and could affect inflation. Do you see that being one of those minefields in the future?
Yes, sure. But the question is, how high is high? And when one is talking about higher crude oil prices, I have not seen any projections that are exceedingly alarming, but there are several aspects to those oil prices. One part is the part that you mentioned, inflation, and the other part, of course, is balance of payments. By managing balance of payments, it's not a big issue. The bigger issue is domestic prices, the transmission and inflation. But as a counterpoint to higher oil prices, the survey also mentions that there are signs that private investment is recovering, and there are signs also that exports are recovering. These are also major drivers of growth. And therefore, I said on balance, despite concerns, legitimate concerns about higher crude oil prices, I am inclined to pick 7.5% rather than 7.
While the survey again says that private investment is set to rebound and the biggest upside will come from exports, the fact, Professor Debroy, is we still haven't seen on the ground in terms of figures also any major bounce back. Our export levels, for example, still well below other Asian economies like a Vietnam, for example. Private investment still relatively low. What explains then the optimism that seems to underline this survey that achhe din will come in 2019?
No, either we are talking within what the survey says or we are moving out of the survey. When one is moving out of the survey, firstly, private sector investments have been constrained by a variety of reasons. Some of it is excess capacity in certain sectors. In sectors where there isn't excess capacity, there are already signs that private investment is recovering, and we are now moving away outside the survey, what survey says. In other sectors, there are signs that consumer demand is improving, public investment has gone up, particularly in roads and even railways, in the power sector, and therefore give it a couple of quarters and one should see revival in private sector investments. This does not mean a substantial recovery in private sector investments, because this is also contingent on the stressed asset problems, which is really a legacy and a backlog being sorted out.
You know, but anecdotal evidence, Professor Debroy suggests that the private sector is still reluctant to invest in big ticket projects, that access to capital remains a concern, that small and medium enterprises are still recovering from their post-GST and DEMO effects. I come back to it. I'm unable to understand where the optimism is coming from, apart from the fact that global growth is recovering. Domestically, there are still constraints.
Well, if you are talking about data, you are not talking about anecdotes. Now, we can trade anecdotes. You are trading your negative anecdotes against my positive negative anecdotes. So let's leave anecdotes out of it, because anecdotally I can tell you that even for something like real estate, commercial real estate, investments have been going up, and bank credit may sometimes be a misleading indicator of investments. And by the way, when we are talking about investments, you are essentially talking about domestic investments which have been happening, except that they have not really been greenfield. But now they've begun to happen in steel, they've begun to happen in pharmaceutical, and don't forget that the foreign direct investments figures, which I need not repeat for you, have been pretty impressive.
You know, one of the concerns again, Professor Debroy, in the survey is farm sector growth. It's projected now at just 2.1% for the next fiscal. Surely agrarian distress and doubling farm incomes still seems a long way away.
I am inclined to agree with that, because that is, and I'm glad you used the word agricultural distress, not rural distress, because I don't think it's a rural distress issue, it's more an agricultural issue. And within that, there are two separate groups of people, though sometimes they may wear two hats. The same individual may wear two hats. One is the agricultural labor, and the other one is the land owning group. Sometimes, as I said, they might wear two hats. The problem of agricultural distress is more for the landowner, less for agricultural labor, and there's a long list of problems that need to be sorted out in the agricultural sector.
Let me come to the other big issue, which is that of jobs. The survey talks of the need to build a knowledge-based economy to focus on education and create inclusive growth. Again, these are fine words, Professor Debroy, but the concern that has been flagged off by economists and indeed by former Finance Minister Mr. Chidambaram is that of job creation. Where are the new jobs being created? The survey is silent as to whether this growth will actually result in an explosion in jobs. Where are the promised 1 crore jobs annually that the Modi government had spoken of in 2014 and which are now likely to become a potential major election issue in 2019?
Creation of jobs is an issue regardless of the year. And you quoted Mr. Chidambaram. Mr. Chidambaram well knows that the issue of jobless growth or growthless jobs is an old issue, for the very simple reason that the last satisfactory survey we have on jobs, employment, goes back to the year 2011-12. After the year 2011-12, we do not have any solid evidence on what has been happening to jobs. What we do have recently is a very tentative kind of exercise that's been done by two people, both of whom are named Ghosh, so it's called Ghosh and Ghosh kind of study, and the survey replicates it to suggest, and there is a box on that in the survey, to suggest that we may be underestimating the degree of formal sector employment. Having said that, we simply do not have data, nor will we have very substantial and solid data to judge what has happened to employment until the next NSS round is available, which will be towards the end of 2018.
The economic survey also, Dr. Debroy, does mention a possible pause in fiscal consolidation, particularly given oil prices as well. Do you see deficit targets being met, especially in an election year where the government is expected to be under pressure to announce SOPs and goodies for various interest groups?
Well, we should have this chat again on the 1st of February. The finance minister has said, the prime minister has said that there will be no moving away from fiscal consolidation, and nor has survey suggested that we will deviate from the path of fiscal consolidation. So I would prefer to wait till the 1st of February to give you a persuasive answer as to why I think fiscal consolidation is here to stay.
We won't go to the budget on the 1st of February at the moment, but on the positive side, the economic survey, Professor Debroy, points to a large increase in direct and indirect taxpayers post GST, that GST has settled. Do you see a potential for a substantial increase in tax revenues, and how will it actually influence policy measures?
Well, there's the direct and there is the indirect. The survey, of course, in the same box it talks about both. But it also makes the point that despite the number of taxpayers having increased, many of them report incomes at the threshold level or close to that. And I need to underline this because all that is happening is a lot of people are now submitting returns. Submitting returns is not the same thing as paying taxes, because even if they may be submitting returns, they may not necessarily be declaring the true level of income. And part of it is an enforcement issue, but more importantly, I think there is an issue of tax exemptions on both direct taxes and indirect taxes.
What if I had to tell you, Dr. Debroy, that had demonetization and GST not happened when they did, we would have been able to ride on the headwinds of a global economic recovery, pick up in consumer demand, and growth would have been much higher than 8 to 9% instead of the 7 to 7.5% that is being projected. We've lost about 1% because of demo and GST.
Well, you're clubbing demonetization and GST in the same breath. Demonetization did not lead, and I am yet to see any statistical evidence to suggest that it led to any even medium-term blip in GDP growth, because the blip that happened did not last for more than a month. So demonetization is not an issue. Now on GST, obviously there is an issue, because GST we could have waited indefinitely. We waited for a very, very long time. On GST the issue is very simple. You are trading off perhaps a short-term dip in growth against the longer-term efficiency gains which will contribute to growth in the future. So I am quite prepared to accept, although here also we don't have any hard statistical data, I am quite inclined to believe that at least for 6 months or perhaps even 1 year, there will be some degree of uncertainty because of the implementation of GST. But this will be more than compensated by the longer-term gains.
One final question, Dr. Debroy. This is an economic survey which, as I said at the outset, comes ahead of the build-up to general election year. There is a sense that the opposition intends to make the government's handling of the economy a big election issue. Do you see the Modi government on the back foot on the economy? Or do you believe, as the survey seems to suggest, that the economy is on the road to Achhe Din, that the economy will benefit from more favorable economic conditions in this big election year?
Well, I'd say that, look, in a way, every year is an election year, and I don't think this government has been driven by electoral compulsions, and nor will it be the case on the 1st of February. But I will repeat what I said earlier, that increasingly there will be positive indicators and more of positive data emerging, except on jobs, because as I said, for that one we will have to wait till the end of 2018 for hard data.
Let me leave it there. You've given us a sense of decoding the economic survey. The chairman of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council, Niti Aayog member, Professor Debroy, appreciate your joining us here on the news today. We'll of course build up every day to Union Budget 2018. Now, it's 4 days since the Republic Day flare-up in UP's Kasganj. The area still continues to be tense but incident-free. Remember, one person was killed, Chandan Gupta. His family has refused to accept government compensation and are now demanding their son be declared a martyr after the communal violence. Here is a report from the ground from our correspondent Ashutosh.
Refusing to accept the government's compensation, demanding their son be declared a martyr.
चंदन को शहीद का दर्जा मिले, मेरे लल्ला को इंसाफ मिले।
Days after Kasganj riots victim, Chandan Gupta's family is still looking for justice.
शुरू से मांग कर रहे हैं कि उसको शहीद का दर्जा दिया जाए। मैंने कहा ये मेरे स्तर से नहीं होता है।
The family member says they want justice and not the compensation, not the check. You know, a sympathy that was given by and being given by the administration, the government officials, the people are here supporting the family, while the administration on behalf of the Yogi government has reached here with the compensation amount that was announced by the Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, but the family adamant says that they don't believe in check, they do not want check, but rather they want justice for Chandan Gupta.
4 days since the Republic Day flare-up, Kasganj is limping back to normal. A massive security cover remains in place. Sustained raids by Uttar Pradesh cops are on to identify and round up the rioters, while the Kasganj SB has been transferred.
ये पूरा अपने आप में एक जांच का विषय है। इसके बारे में काफी सूचना एकत्रित हो रही हैं और हम लोग इसमें कर रहे हैं काम। हमारे पास काफी सीसीटीवी फुटेज है, हम लोग उस पे काम कर रहे हैं, उसके बेसिस पे आइडेंटिफिकेशन कर रहे हैं हम लोग और उस पे बेसिस पे हम लोग कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं।
निश्चित तौर पर वहाँ के जो घटनाएं हुई उत्तर प्रदेश के लिए एक कलंक के रूप में हुई है। सरकार उसकी जांच कर रही है।
At least 112 riot accused have been arrested and face the stringent National Security Act. Crude bombs and pistols were recovered from the houses of the accused during raids conducted by the police on Sunday, confirming the conspiracy angle. The clashes were sparked after provocative slogans, stone pelting and clashes during a Tiranga Yatra.
Tiranga Yatra at 8:30 a.m. on 26 January started from this point and through this road passed to another point where the scuffle took place. There was apparently and allegedly, as even administration says, coming on record speaking to India Today, that yes, there were provocative slogans made by both sides.
यात्रा ये इस बार निकाली गई और उनके एरिया से निकाली गई, उनको पूरा उनकी तैयारी थी। वहाँ पे बैरिकेटिंग उन लोगों ने लगा रखी थी और इन लोगों ने पहले ही बता दिया था हम यात्रा वहाँ से निकालेंगे।
वंदे मातरम कहना होगा, नहीं पाकिस्तान जाना होगा, ऐसी कोई नारे लगा रहे।
अब मुझे बताएं कि वंदे मातरम कहना होगा, क्या इस नारे से आपत्ति थी आप लोगों को?
ना वो उन्होंने समझाया, फिर जब कई लोगों ने समझाया कि भाई तो आप भी बैठो यहाँ पे, और ये तो हम प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं, तो उसका तिरंगे का अपना मतलब ये अपना।
As conflict hit Kasganj struggled to return to normal, netas unleashed a vicious blame game.
ये सरकार कानून व्यवस्था पर जितना काम करना चाहिए वो काम सरकार नहीं कर रही है। सरकार केवल अन्याय की तरफ देख रही है कि अन्याय कैसे कर सके।
ये कभी कभी इस तरह की बातें जो है हो जाती हैं। सबको ये मालूम है कि पिछले 8-9 महीने से जब से योगी सरकार वहाँ पर आई है, जिस प्रकार से कानून व्यवस्था में जो सुधार हुआ है और जिस प्रकार जो पहले हर लगभग रोज आना जो है कहीं न कहीं जो है सांप्रदायिक दंगा होता था, वो बिल्कुल ख़त्म हो चुके हैं।
As another Uttar Pradesh town turns into tinderbox and netas cater to vote banks, the big question is, who turned Kasganj into Clashganj? With Ashutosh Mishra in Kasganj, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, even as Kasganj remains tense after days of violence, take a look at this. Kasganj's BJP MLAs have been caught on video busy enjoying a music night yesterday. When you take them on camera, they say that they are on top of the situation, but just 48 kilometers from Kasganj, BJP MLAs and even the ETA MP was spotted enjoying a music bash yesterday, even as the situation remained tense on the ground. BJP MLAs Devendra Verma, Devendra Lodhi, Virender Verma and MP Mukesh Rajput sitting in the front row enjoying a music night, tapping to Kailash Kher's music and not really interested, it appears, in what was happening in Kasganj. Okay, let's go straight across from there to the district magistrate, the DM of Kasganj. RP Singh joins me because we want to know what exactly happened in Kasganj that led to this communal flare-up. RP Singh जी, आप हमारे स्टूडियो में आए हैं, हमसे बात कर रहे हैं। ये बताइए, असलियत बताइए, what really happened? कौन जिम्मेदार है ये हिंसा के लिए? क्या ये ऑर्गेनाइज थी, क्या स्पॉन्टेनियस थी? किसने ये हिंसा शुरुआत की?
3 दिन पहले की जो ये घटना थी, ये रिस्पॉन्सिबल समय और परिस्थितियाँ थी, क्योंकि उस समय 26 जनवरी का पर्व था और हमारी पूरी फोर्स और हम स्वयं पुलिस कप्तान के साथ यहाँ से 15 किलोमीटर दूर पुलिस लाइन में कार्यक्रम कर रहे थे। उस बीच में ये घटना घट गई और घटना के बाद हम लोग सूचना पर आए और स्थिति को कंट्रोल किया। आप ये कहा जा सकता है कि सडन जो ये कार्य हुआ है, इसके लिए परिस्थितियां जिम्मेदार थी।
परिस्थितियां जिम्मेदार थी, circumstances were responsible, you are saying, for this sudden eruption. But is it not a fact, Mr. R.P. Singh, that the ABVP took out what they called a Tiranga Yatra, then used even the Bhagwa Jhanda, not just the tricolor in the Yatra. Administration had not given permission for it. Permission नहीं दी थी, इसके बावजूद ABVP ने वहां एक तिरंगा यात्रा निकाली।
26 जनवरी राष्ट्रीय पर्व है, इसमें प्रभात फेरी या किसी जुलूस के लिए किसी परमिशन की आवश्यकता नहीं होती, अनटिल एंड अनलेस की कोई बहुत बड़ा कार्यक्रम न हो रहा हो जिसमें बियॉन्ड कंट्रोल क्राउड हो। छोटे मोटे प्रभात फेरी स्कूलों के निकलती रहती, जिसमें कभी परमिशन नहीं लिया जाता।
सर ये लेकिन छोटी मोटी कोई प्रोसेशन नहीं थी, एबीवीपी ने निकाली थी। मुझे ये बताइए, इज इट ट्रू दैट ड्यूरिंग दिस यात्रा हेट फिल्ड स्लोगन, नारेबाजी हुई, वंदे मातरम कहना होगा नहीं तो पाकिस्तान जाना होगा, स्पीचेस वर मेड, और किसने किए? क्या ये सही है या नहीं कि नारेबाजी हुई?
अब ये तो जांच के विषय के इस तरह के भड़काऊ भाषण दिए गए कि नहीं, सुनने में आता है कि कुछ नारेबाजी हुई जिसके कारण से बडू नगर मोहल्ला जो एक वर्ग विशेष के आबादी वाला क्षेत्र है, उस क्षेत्र से गुजरने पर इनके द्वारा क्या नारे लगाए गए, उनके द्वारा क्या नारे लगाए गए, यही जांच। बट दोनों ग्रुप इकट्ठे हुए और वहाँ पर कहा सुनी और पथराव की स्थिति बनी। घटना की शुरुआत वहीं से हुई। The slogan told that one of the accused, Salim, who is allegedly the one responsible for shooting Chandan Gupta, may have had some links with criminal elements. That he is the one who, in whose house you have found weapons, उनके घर में आपको weapons मिले हैं, वो खुद फरार है, he has run away। क्या ये सही है या नहीं? बैक हिस्ट्री इसकी देखी गई, बैक हिस्ट्री में ऐसा कुछ नहीं था, बट घर से अगर देसी रिवॉल्वर और बंदूक मिल रही है, सुतली वाला बम मिल रहा है, तो निश्चित रूप से इनके दिमाग में इस तरह के कोई प्लानिंग रही होगी घटना कारित करने की, तभी इस तरह के सामान घर पे रखा था।
But why was the administration not able to act in a swifter manner? We have seen the SP has been transferred. ये violence होती है 26 को, लेकिन 48 घंटों तक दुकानें जलाई जाती है, shops are burned. The violence is allowed to simmer for 48 hours. ये क्यों हुआ? आपकी प्रशासन की विफलता है या नहीं? Failure of your administration.
ने स्थिति को नियंत्रण किया। अगर प्रशासन स्थिति को नियंत्रण न करता तो कासगंज कस्बा मिश्रित आबादी वाला कस्बा है, बहुत बड़ी वारदातें होती। 2 दुकानें जो जलाई गई हैं, बल्कि 3 दुकानें, एक दुकान बर्तन से रिलेटेड थी और 2 जूते से संबंधित दुकानें थी। इन दुकानों पर आगजनी की कार्रवाई हुई है, उसमें कोई संदेह नहीं, लेकिन ये घंटा घर के पास ये जो दुकानें हैं, इस क्षेत्र में कुछ अधिकारियों की ड्यूटी लगाई गई थी, वो एक छोर से दूसरे छोर पे गए, इस बीच में आग लगा करके वो इस तरह के जो अराजक तथ्य भाग गए।
Let me ask you one final question, Mr. Singh. Is it true that there is pressure to go soft on some of the groups involved? कि आपको कहा गया है कि कुछ ऐसे तत्व है जिनको राजनीतिक संरक्षण मिलता है, दे एंजॉय पॉलिटिकल पेट्रनेज। योगी आदित्यनाथ की सरकार है, कहा जाता है कि हिंदुत्व ग्रुप्स जो इसमें इन्वॉल्व है उनको संरक्षण दिया जाता है, या सबके खिलाफ एक जैसी कार्रवाई हो रही है, हिंदू हो या मुस्लिम?
मैं इस बात को नहीं मानता। इस गवर्नमेंट में अधिकारी को जितना कार्य करने की स्वतंत्रता दी गई है, बिना दबाव निष्पक्ष काम करने की जितनी स्वतंत्रता है, इतनी स्वतंत्रता हम लोगों को पहले कभी नहीं रही है। कोई दबाव नहीं था और बस खाली जो पहले दिन की घटना थी दुकान जलाने की, उसके बाद कोई बड़ी घटना नहीं घटने पाई। बाहर से फोर्स भी मिल गई है और हम लोगों ने मुस्तैदी से पेट्रोलिंग कराई।
Let me take a break there, Mr. Singh. हम आपके पास आएंगे as the situation slowly calms down. Thank you very much though for joining us and giving us कि क्या हुआ कासगंज में, what happened. My take. I deliberately chose not to debate the Kasganj violence today in the studio, but simply to put the facts in the public domain. To put Hindu against Muslim in a noisy TV studio while the situation remains tense on the ground is, to my mind, to play with fire and is not the way forward for a responsible media. Unfortunately, sensation has replaced sense. The violence, by all accounts, was on both sides. A young Hindu man was shot dead. A Muslim has lost his eye. That a Republic Day gathering should divide society is deeply troubling. The UP police needs to ensure that all the guilty, whichever community they belong to, are punished. Incidents like Kasganj are a blot on our republic. Tomorrow is the 70th death anniversary of the Mahatma, a man who lived and died to ensure communal harmony. The best way we can remember Bapu is to commit ourselves to his dream of a tolerant, multi-faith India, not one which is driven by the politics of hate and revenge killings. Let there be no more Kasganj. Today is the 56th birth anniversary of slain journalist Gauri Lankesh, who, remember, was shot dead on the 5th of September last year. Today in Bengaluru, her friends and politicians who knew her gathered to commemorate her memory. Gujarat MLA Jignesh Mevani, the JNU SU former president Kanhaiya Kumar were in Bengaluru, among others, to commemorate her birth anniversary. Lankesh was killed last year outside a residence by an unknown gunman. The fact is, almost 5 months later, we still don't know who actually killed her. No arrests have been made despite several claims of breakthroughs by the Karnataka government.
I would appeal with all the vigor and intensity to the state of Karnataka and its police that they must take this probe to its logical end and the accused must be apprehended as early as possible.
Okay, let's go straight across to Subhash Agarwal, Secretary of the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee. Also joining me, Kavita Lankesh, Gauri Lankesh's sister. Kavita, to you first. September 5th, 2017 is when Gauri was killed. We are now almost 5 months later. We still don't know who was actually responsible. To your mind, do you see this as a failure of the Karnataka state government?
I don't think so, because the investigation is going in the right path as far as I know, because I've been every week I've been updated what exactly is happening. So at least they're not on the wrong track. So that's the hope I'm living on.
You're saying that you're not on that the police is not on the wrong track, but when 5 months later we still don't know who did it, naturally there will be people out there, Ms. Lankesh, who will raise questions. Why is the police not able to crack a case when every few weeks we hear they've made a headway?
No, every few weeks has been a media-created thing, actually. The police, the SID team itself have never actually said anything except one press conference they've had with the sketches they released a couple months back for any, doubted any person who has seen it or any kind of information they can get. But apart from that, they've not really had any kind of release. It's just media speculation, including the CCTV, what they covered. Everything was media-created. So it was nothing that they have not come across and said anything. Because they're waiting, one is, they're waiting for the exact evidence, because they can arrest easily people whom they suspect, but that's not the point. I mean, you would see in the Valka case, everywhere it's happened that they've arrested the suspect and they're scot-free after a few months. That's not what we are waiting for. We want to be sure with the evidence. The SID team also is very sure that they want the proper evidence. Till then, they won't make any arrests haphazardly, which I'm very happy about, because they're doing a good job. I mean, we'll all be appeased right now if they say, okay, we've arrested 2 or 3, 4 men, whatever it is.
Right.
But then what happens a few months later? If there's no proof, they're scot-free, and again, it's a dead end, So that's not what we're looking for. We're looking at a proper ending to the whole thing, because I need to know. And I mean, everybody needs to know, you know that.
Right. You need to know who really killed her, but you believe the investigation is moving in the right direction. Subhash Agarwal, Secretary KPCC, Gauri Lankesh's sister may say that the investigation is moving in the right direction, but there will be those who will raise questions, particularly as previous incidents in Karnataka, most notably the killing of Professor Kalburgi, have still not been cracked. The fear is, will this also become yet another murder where we will not know the killers? The Karnataka government's reputation is at stake, particularly in an election year.
See, what Kavita Lankesh feels is absolutely correct. We have a very capable police in Karnataka. Our SIT team is being headed by Mr. B.K. Singh with additional Deputy Commissioner of Police. And earlier, a lot of cases like Pansare as well as Dabholkar in Maharashtra has also not been detected. Now, a lot of cases are with CBI, like for example, JNU boy Nazib, his case is also not able to.
No, forget about what is with someone else. The Karnataka government, let's be honest, Mr. Mr. Agarwal, forget about other cases with the CBI. Today it is about Karnataka, a case which has acquired a national dimension, which has become so high profile. You can appreciate the fears that maybe observers have, given what has happened in cases involving rationalists, that will the killers be caught?
I am coming to that, Mr. Rajdeep. The question here is already 5 months our police has done a quite commendable job. Now they cannot reveal everything, whatever day-to-day findings are there, and they have to come with a conclusive closure of the case. So they are on this line. Our Karnataka police SIT has been done for this. They are quite capable of solving this case.
So how long?
And at this stage now, suppose we give it to CBI, already the case will be started.
Yeah, how long? Give me a time frame. Is there a time frame? Are you close to cracking the case? Every few months I hear, every few weeks I hear you are close to cracking the case. Are you actually close to cracking the case?
See, Rajdeep, on all these things you cannot give a deadline. These are not the decided thing. You have to finish this work. Yes, police is finding. They have got the clues. They have already arrested some people. So
nobody's been arrested.
Deadline cannot be given, but yes, definitely our SIT is capable of doing this.
Well, we leave it there. We leave it there. We hope that Gauri Lankesh and her family Lankesh's family gets closure. Till then, the speculation will remain. And remember, Karnataka goes to the polls in a few months from now. So there will be questions which will be raised over the Karnataka police in this case. Appreciate Kavita and Mr. Agarwal joining me. When we return, a complete shift in mood. We'll turn to the Grammys. Bruno Mars sweeps the top honors at this year's Grammys.